I wrote a book, right? It's called Buy a Game, and it's free. Click the link down there.
DreAllDay.com.
What's up, everybody? Dre Baldwin with DreAllDay.com. Decided I'm gonna do a so far review. We about 6-7 games or so into the NBA season, so I'm recording this on Election Day, November, what is this, the 8th, 9th, whatever day Election Day is, Tuesday. I'm recording this, so anything that happened after that, or anything that I just don't know about, because I don't watch every minute of every game of every team, you can let me know down in the comments. Anything that happened after this day, if they played the games Tuesday night, I don't know about it because that didn't happen yet. So I just want to go right down the list of teams in the league. I'm not going to go over every team in detail. There's just some things I'm noticing, things that maybe I was right about in my predictions, maybe some things I was wrong about, things that I missed out on. I'm not going to mention every single team. If your team's trash, we're not going to spend too much time on that team. Maybe, depending on how trash they are and who else is on that team, maybe we'll talk about it a little bit. But let's get right into it. I'm going to do every team in the league all in this one video. We're starting in the Eastern Conference. Cleveland Cavaliers 6-0. I didn't expect them to start out 6-0 simply because they had just won the championship last year. Maybe there was some championship hangover. Maybe I expected a guy like LeBron to kind of do a little bit less, play a little bit fewer minutes, which I'm not even sure how many minutes he's playing right now. And it's too early, I think, to even say, to see it as a trend. But the Cavaliers have come out ready to go. They brought back pretty much their entire team from last year. They pretty much brought everybody back. They lost Matthew Dellavedova, which has proven not to be that big of a deal because LeBron can pretty much play the point next to Kyrie. Kyrie is doing his thing scoring-wise, and Kevin Love, who's on my fantasy team, so thank you, Kevin Love, for your performance so far. They said he kind of got himself back into better shape because last summer, before last year when they went to the championship and won, he had gotten hurt, so he didn't get a chance to really work out the way he normally does. So he lost too much weight. He was too light in his lower body, so he couldn't really hold space in the paint the way that he used to when he was getting 15 rebounds a game. So now he's in better shape and he can do so. So he's playing better. So thank you, Kevin Love, for getting in better shape. I know it wasn't your fault. You couldn't be in better shape last year, but you're doing great so far. The Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte Hornets are surprising 5-1. Surprising to me. I know some Hornets fans out there, some Kemba fans out there who love the Hornets, and I'm really happy to see them doing well, and which is great. It's very early in the season, but they're playing very well. MKG is back from his injuries. He's had some injuries, but he's playing really good. I haven't watched the Hornets in detail much, but I know about the players they have. Nick Batum, who got a big deal with them, he's playing well. They got rid of Al Jefferson, or lost Al, whatever way you want to put it. And Al, kind of based on the way they wanted to play, speeding things up, giving things more to the perimeter guys, it's worked out perfect for them. So the Hornets doing great so far. Again, MKG playing great. Marvin Williams doing, wait, Marvin Williams still on the Hornets? I don't even know. Who's the other guy that was mentioned? Nick Batum doing his thing still, and Kemba putting up those 30 pieces, putting up 20, 30 points on the board a couple times so far. So the Hornets doing well so far. Atlanta Hawks, I think Dwight Howard, I expected Dwight Howard to have a pretty good year this year. I mean, Dwight Howard is still a 20-10 big guy. If he's the best big guy in the league, is usually people aren't saying he's the best anymore, but Dwight Howard is still an all-star level big man when he's on a team where he's actually touching the damn ball, as he was not in Houston last year, and he also wasn't playing great defense either. But he's playing better. I don't know if Schroeder's the long-term guy for the Hawks at the point, but I guess he is because they invested and gave him a big contract. For the rest of the Hawks team, I'm not super excited about this team. I like Paul Millsap. I think his contract is up at the end of this year, and who knows if he'll stick around, but that's something we'll talk about later, probably in next year's previews, whatever team he's on. The Toronto Raptors, 4-2 so far. DeMar DeRozan has been on damn fire, scoring 30-some points damn near every game, and he's making his shots. He's making those mid-range jumpers that he loves taking. If he keeps playing like that, then I guess it justifies everything he's done so far. He got that big contract, which is damn near twice what Kyle Lowry was getting, and people thought maybe there would be some issues between them because of that, but obviously there's not. The Raptors playing pretty good, and DeRozan, I mean, I don't know if he's going to keep making all those mid-range jumpers, but if he does, then he might lead the damn NBA in scoring. He is definitely doing his thing. The Bucks are pretty much where I thought they would be, 4-3, so they're a winning team, but they're not blowing the doors off of people. They have a great overall team. Too bad they had that injury at the beginning of the season. I forget the guy, I think it's Middleton, who got injured. They traded MCW, which I've seen coming since Giannis is basically going to run the point, and they signed Dellavedova. But they're playing pretty well overall. The Chicago Bulls, D Wade ain't dead. He had a couple really good games for the Bulls. He's had some okay games where he's getting you about 15, 16 points, which I think is about where he's going to settle in this year. I say he settles in around 18, 19 points per game, Dwayne Wade. And that's pretty much what you can be happy with that from Dwayne Wade. I mean, the guy is what, like 34 years old. He's had several injuries to his lower body, his whole body. So I think that's pretty much what you're going to get out of Wade. I don't think he's going to keep hitting three-pointers the way he has in a couple of games, simply because he's been in the league for 10 plus years. He has never done that before. And on top of that, I don't think Dwayne Wade shot 500 three-pointers a day, every day this offseason. I don't think that's what he was doing in his workouts. Dwayne Wade wasn't doing the Stephen Curry workout. So I don't think he's going to keep making threes the way he has in a couple of games. The Detroit Pistons are doing well. They're a little bit above treading water at 4-3. They're missing Reggie Jackson, who I think is probably the most important player on this team, simply because the way that other teams are point guard driven. You need a point guard who can go out there and kind of make those other point guards work a little bit harder than what Ish Smith is giving them, but he's doing a great job as a stopgap point guard. Tobias Harris and the Morris twin, I don't even know which one of them it is. I think it's Markieff on Detroit. They're playing very solid basketball. Drummond is doing Drummond things. He's going to lead the league in rebounding, I think, this year. And he'll get you, if he can get you 18 points, I think you should be really happy with that. If Andre Drummond can get you 18, I think it'll be a shade under that. But Detroit looking pretty good overall. I see that they are right now looking like a playoff team, but we'll see moving forward. The Boston Celtics 3-3 so far. I think Al Horford needs to be more involved offensively. He hasn't, even in the games where he did play, he missed a couple because he had the concussion situation, which as of yesterday, I read he still didn't even practice because of the concussion. But when he's on the court, he hasn't been touching the ball enough. The offense is not going through him enough. And I think the Celtics need to get him more offensively involved, he needs to get himself more offensively involved if they're going to really compete. I think with the team that they have, minus Al, with Al getting you 10 to 14 points a game, this team is pretty much what they've been so far, a 3-3 team. They've lost a couple close games, but let's see how things shape out once Al comes back and he gets more integrated into what they're doing, which he should have been once the season started. They got to get him the damn ball. The Orlando Magic, I said in the previews I didn't like how this team is constructed. Too many people at pretty much the same position. You got Aaron Gordon, who they're putting at the 3, but he's not a good outside shooter. He's made a couple threes in a couple games. He's not going to space the floor enough for this team. Then you got Vucevic, you got Biyombo, and Serge Ibaka, who are all bigs who I assume Orlando would think are going to be starting. I mean, they signed Biyombo to a big deal. They traded for Serge, and they already had Vuce. So what are they doing? I mean, I don't think you sign a guy like Biyombo to that big of a deal to have him coming off the bench. I just don't see it working. So I think a personnel move needs to happen in Orlando. What? I don't know. Indiana Pacers, they got Paul George, who is honored as a top 10 guy in this league, I would say. And this team's not doing too great so far. And Paul George, I got some other thoughts I'm gonna share with Paul George. When we get to the Western Conference, I'll relate Paul George to one of the other players I want to speak on. Miami Heat is 2-4 so far. They got a young team. I think they're gonna hover around that 500 mark, maybe make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. Ain't nothing else I really gotta say about the Heat. The big guy, Whiteside, is playing actually pretty good. Whiteside is playing very well. He'll get you, again, I think he's in the Andre Drummond range when it comes to points. If he can get 15 and 19 points a game out of Whiteside, that is excellent for the Miami Heat this year. As far as rebounds and blocks, he's going to be up there contending for that rebounding title. I think he can get you 14 to 15 rebounds a game if he stays locked in on actually grabbing rebounds and protecting the rim. New York Knicks are 2-4. Knicks fans, I told you at the beginning of the year, listen, Derrick Rose is good, Kristaps Porzingis is good, Carmelo Anthony is good. The rest of the team is not very good. Joakim Noah, I don't think he's a good player anymore. I think Joakim Noah is a solid guy. He's a solid team guy. I don't think he's a good player anymore, and nobody else on this team, I don't think the Knicks have any other good players, honestly. Brandon Jennings is okay, and so is Joakim Noah. The rest of the team, this team's just not good. They don't have a lot of depth. That's the problem for the New York Knicks. Those guys up top are great, but they don't have a lot of depth on this team. I don't see them doing much. The Brooklyn Nets are not a good basketball team. Brook Lopez is getting games off. Brook Lopez got a game off for rest after like 3 games in the season. Why does he need rest after 3 games? I have no idea. Somebody can let me know why he's getting rest after 3 games into the season. But he did come back after the rest game and have a really good game. But Brook Lopez still can't grab any damn rebounds. You got a 7-foot guy who's getting games off for rest who can't grab any rebounds. Brooklyn fans, y'all in trouble. This team is not going to be good this year. unfortunately. If y'all didn't already know that, now you know. The Washington Wizards are a trash basketball team, and I like John Wall. I'm a fan of John Wall. I think Bradley Beal is good. I don't think Bradley Beal is a great player. I think he's a good player. I'm talking about even when he's healthy and on the court. I think he's a good player. He's not a great player. Unfortunately, the Wizards invested in him as if he is a great player, and that's a mistake. I think that is going to be a long-term mistake for the Wizards. They may need to make a move. They need another piece here. I like Marcus Morris. Hopefully, I got the Morris twins right on the right teams. I like Morris. I like John Wall. I think Gortat is I think he's a solid guy. Again, he's a good player. The Wizards are 1-5, though. The Wizards are 1-5. Besides the guys that I mentioned, the Wizards don't really have that many good players. Otto Porter is okay. They don't have anybody else who's good. And I don't think Scott Brooks is the right coach for this team either. But they just made investments in these guys. So the Wizards are in trouble. John Wall signed a deal a few years ago when the Wizards were actually on the come-up. So I don't know how much longer John Wall's deal is. I think John Wall might be the guy who leaves the Washington Wizards. I don't think they'll trade him. I think he might be the guy who leaves. I don't know how much longer his deal is. And the Sixers, I guess they're still in the process, quote unquote, because they're 0-6. They've been in some games that have been competitive though. Okafor, Nerlens Noel, Joel Embiid, one of those guys got to go. I think it's going to be Okafor. Joel Embiid is a damn talent. That guy can go. He's on a minutes restriction right now. I think once his restriction is lifted, Joel Embiid is going to be damn dominant. And is this technically his rookie year? I think this is technically rookie year for Joel Embiid. So once his minutes restriction gets lifted, I think Joel Embiid is looking like a rookie of the year if he keeps doing the things he's doing. He's hitting threes, blocking shots, he's putting the ball on the floor. He can hit the mid-range out of the post face up. This guy's damn good. So the Sixers, I mean, they're not going to be competitive. Hopefully the Wizards can at least be better than the Sixers and the Brooklyn Nets and the Knicks. I think the Knicks will be better than them. But the Nets, Wizards, and Sixers, the Wizards, I have no idea, man. You got two guys who are on pretty much what we can say max deals at the time they signed them, between Wall and Beal. So they need to figure that shit out. Those two guards, they need to figure that out because both of those guys are getting paid. John Wall's a damn all-star. They need to win some damn games. Now, why they're not winning, you tell me, Wizards fans. Y'all been watching the games. I ain't been watching all of them. Western Conference, LA Clippers. 6-1 so far, so the Clippers are who we thought they were. They're a damn good team. They're going to be a top 4 seed in the Western Conference. Who can they beat in the playoffs? That's what we want to know. Who can the Clippers beat in the playoffs? We know Chris Paul is the man. We know Blake Griffin's the man. We know DeAndre Jordan is going to do what DeAndre Jordan does. But what else do you have on this team? I mean, Jamal Crawford's won 6th Man of the Year, but I mean, I talked about this in their preview. What are they going to do in the playoffs? This is pretty much the same team. Paul Pierce doesn't play anymore. He's old. He probably should have retired after last year. I guess he wanted to have his his farewell season. Whatever. He's not playing. He's not a factor. Paul Pierce is no longer a factor. And the rest of this team, I mean, let's see what they do in the playoffs. I mean, ain't nothing else that we can say about the Clippers. They are who we thought they were. We know who they are. We know what they're going to do. We know who's good on this team. What are they going to do in the playoffs? We got to wait 70-something more games till we find out. Oklahoma City Thunder. 6-1 so far. Now this guy, Russell Westbrook. There are several players in the league I want to talk about and use Russell Westbrook as a barometer. Russell Westbrook, ladies and gentlemen, is the type of player who Russell Westbrook plays like it's personal. It's personal for Russell Westbrook to go out there and dominate and help his team win games. And it didn't just start this year because KD left. Russell Westbrook has been this guy damn near the whole time he's been in the NBA. And because of that mentality, on top of the fact that he's pretty damn talented, because of that mentality, the Oklahoma City Thunder are 6-1. This is the reason why. Now, Oladipo is good. Steven Adams is good. Enes Kanter should be starting on this team, in my opinion. I mean, he's kind of slow-footed on defense, so I guess that's the reason why he doesn't start. Enes Kanter is the most efficient offensive player on this team, even more than Russell Westbrook. Like just last night, he had 24 points, 10 rebounds. I guess I got to talk up Enes Kanter because he's on my fantasy team. So thank you, Enes Kanter, for that game. But Enes Kanter has also had games where he didn't score any points because he's not playing enough. And last night, he scored 24 points and had 10 rebounds in 20 minutes. He did this in 20 minutes of playing time. This dude is very efficient offensively. He should be playing more, I believe. In my opinion, he should play more on this team. What else am I going to say about the Thunder? Again, Russell Westbrook. I mean, the guy's just carrying them. I watched the game during the NBA League Pass free preview because I'm not paying for NBA League Pass. But the first week when it was free, I watched when they played the Phoenix Suns. And the game went into OT. Russell Westbrook had like 50-something points. He shot the ball 40-something times. And he was really excited about it. And there's some people, of course, a lot of people is talking shit because he shot the ball 40 times. You need to get your teammates involved more, blah, blah, blah. Listen, what I liked about that game, I do agree, getting your teammates involved matters because there's going to come a time when somebody else is going to have to score, and if they're not ready to, they haven't been getting the ball enough, they won't be conditioned to do it. However, Russell Westbrook's mentality of, listen, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to make sure we win this game, that mentality could do a whole lot of other players in the NBA a whole lot of good. Guys who are in the same role as Westbrook. Max contract, you're making all the money, you're clearly the #1 guy, but your team's not succeeding the way Westbrook's team is succeeding. Now, who knows if they can keep up this success, but one thing I know for sure is Russell Westbrook's mentality, that mentality that I just described, that I'm going to do whatever I got to do. If we lose, we're going to lose on my back, and if we win, we're going to win on my back. That mentality could do a lot of guys some good. We can go back to the Eastern Conference. Paul George, Indiana Pacers, that could do your team some good, Paul George, if you could develop that mentality. Carmelo Anthony, they could do your team some good if you could develop that mentality. And I today put out a video talking about Carmelo Anthony in detail. John Wall, you getting paid like it. Brad Beal, both of y'all getting paid like it. That could do your team some good if one of you or maybe both of you together could come up with that mentality. And I said there was kind of something going on with that team before the season, and we can see they're what's their record? 1-5 so far? Yeah, they need to start winning some games. Chicago Bulls, I forgot to mention Jimmy Butler. Bulls fans, Jimmy Butler's not as good of a player as I thought he was. I thought Jimmy Butler was a little bit better than he is. Not to say that he's not good. I think Jimmy Butler he's borderline all-star level. I think he did make all-star last year. He was on Team USA. He wasn't that much of a factor as far as what I saw. He's not as great of a player as I thought he was. I think this Bulls team is a first. Man, we ain't going to talk about what I think they're going to do in the playoffs, but Jimmy Butler, if he is the #1 guy on this team, he needs to start playing like it. Like, it needs to be clear. It needs to be like, oh, okay, now we see it needs to be a clear #1. Right now, I think he is #1, but then you got Wade there, you got Rondo kind of in there. It needs to be clear. Jimmy Butler needs to start playing like that, and it needs to be clear. Paul George needs to start playing like that, and it needs to be clear. Carmelo Anthony, we didn't talk enough about Carmelo Anthony. He needs to start playing like that. John Wall, Brad Beal, one of them needs to start playing like it. Maybe both of them together. But again, it's a mentality. It's not a physical tools thing. It's a mentality. They need to start, even if they lose. Listen, just take over. Do something. Take over and be the guy on the team that if they lose, it should be clear they lost because you took over and you just couldn't deliver. Let that happen. Kobe Bryant, after Shaq and before Pau Gasol, that was how he played. Allen Iverson, that was how he played. Now, of course, did they have some better players around them at some points? Iverson, before they put the team together and went to the finals? No. Iverson, it was just, look, we going to win or lose based on what I do. Kobe Bryant, we going to win or lose based on what I do. Will your team to victory or will your team to defeat? Now, even in the one game that the Thunder lost was the OKC, and we're going to talk about OKC. Not OKC. They lost. They can't lose to themselves. They lost to Golden State. We're going to talk about them in a second. San Antonio Spurs, 5-2 so far. Kawhi Leonard has stepped up, and he is being the man. As I said, we got to see if he can do that. He's doing that. And in my fantasy league, I picked KD. When I could have picked Kawhi or KD, I went with KD. And their stats are pretty equal right now. So hopefully, I want Kawhi to still do great. Listen, I don't care that much about fantasy basketball. I want to see great basketball players play great basketball. That's why I want to see Wall and Beal do something. I want to see Carmelo do something. I want to see Paul George do something because I think these guys are great players. As far as the Spurs, we're seeing Kawhi is doing his thing, and he should be the clear #1 on that team. So far this year, he has proven to be the clear #1, and that's what some of these other guys need to do. Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry lost his three-pointer, made one three-pointer in a game streak when they lost to the Lakers. We're going to talk about the Lakers momentarily. And then the next game, he comes back just last night, as of this recording, scores 46 points, makes 13 threes against the New Orleans Pelicans, who we're going to talk about a little bit later because they're further down on this list. So I have some things I need to say about the Pelicans. Steph Curry is Steph Curry. Draymond Green had, what do you have? I think he had 12 rebounds and 11 assists last night, only like 4 points. I love that. I love that Draymond Green is the kind of guy who's willing to do that, and he's happy that the team is winning while he's doing something like that. He could score more points if he wanted to take more shots, but he's okay having 10 rebounds, 11 assists, and not even getting double figures in points, which is excellent. Klay Thompson had a great game. Durant had, I think he scored about 20 points. I mean, when Steph Curry's going off like that, you pretty much want to just give him the ball. But I've been listening to, I think Bill Simmons was saying it, on this Warriors team, Klay Thompson looks like the odd man out, in my opinion. He's looking like the odd man out here. The Warriors need some help down low. Jaja Pachulia, is not the answer. All right, Zaza Pachulia is not the answer for the Golden State Warriors in the paint. If they go to the NBA Finals and they got to play the Cavs, Zaza Pachulia is not going to save the Warriors, and they can end up losing because of their lack of big down there. Even in the Western Conference, forget the playoffs. Listen, if Blake Griffin, you're going up against Blake and DeAndre, you're not putting Zaza Pachulia up against Blake and DeAndre. And JaVale McGee, we're not even talking about JaVale McGee. You know he didn't get in the game last night, right? Some people left comments when I did the Warriors video talking about JaVale McGee because he's athletic. And JaVale McGee been athletic, all right, for the last 15 years, all right? He's been a non-factor on any good team as long as he's been in the NBA. JaVale McGee will not be a factor if the Warriors are contenders. They are contenders. The Warriors get deep in the playoffs, JaVale McGee going to be the same place then that he was last night, which is DNP-CD. If you don't know what that means, look it up. All right, as far as the Warriors, again, I think they might need to make a move here. Now, are they going to do something as drastic as like trade Clay during the season and get a big? I don't think so. I think what's going to happen is Draymond and Durant are going to be the bigs. They're going to be the bigs. That's their best lineup. Put Clay out there, put Steph out there. The young guy, McCall, has actually been playing pretty good. I don't even know his first name. He's been playing pretty good, McCall. Iguodala, I'm not sure he can guard the best player on the other team all game anymore, like he did a couple years ago. I'm not sure he's that elite of a defender anymore, Andre Iguodala. I'm not sure. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know, but I don't see Iguodala guarding LeBron James for an entire game. I don't see Iguodala guarding Kawhi Leonard. Forget LeBron James. You got to get out the West. I don't see him guarding Kawhi Leonard for a whole game. I don't see him guarding, who's the other guy? Russell Westbrook for a whole game. I don't know if he can do it anymore. The Warriors got some questions. Not that they're not talented. They are. They got Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. Those two of the top 5 players in the world. They got some questions. It's not going to be a cakewalk for them just because. Steph ain't going to do that every game, as we've seen already. Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz are balling. And I wasn't sure about the Utah Jazz, but I said they didn't really have a superstar guy, but they're actually playing pretty damn good. And Gordon Hayward came back and he stepped right in and stepped into the man role. Like he's taking shots that he's supposed to. Running things is going through him like it's supposed to because he is the best player on this team. And Gordon Hayward's on my fantasy team. So thank you, Gordon Hayward, for the way you've stepped up and done your thing. Jazz are 5-3 so far. George Hill just won Player of the Week in the Western Conference. He's been playing very well on this team. He's like the perfect point guard on this team. Rudy Gobert got his ass banged on twice by Jahlil Okafor last night, but I'm still a fan of Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is a good defender. Who else? Derek Favors had a good game last night. Dante Exum. I want to see what he can actually do. Dante Exum was the guy coming out of Australia before Ben Simmons became the guy. So I want to see what Exum can do. I'm not sure he's going to get much of a chance to do it on this team. They just got they got a lot of good players on this team, and it's actually working on this roster. They got a pretty deep roster. Trey Lyles is getting some playing time. I like this team. I didn't think they're 5-3, so it's not like they're blowing the world away, but they're a solid basketball team. I like what they have so far. LA Lakers, the baby Lakers are balling. I tried very hard to get, I was going to draft D'Angelo Russell in my fantasy league. Somebody got him. I was going to get Julius Randle in my fantasy league. Somebody got him. So I don't have any of the Lakers on my team, and I doubt whoever has them is going to trade them to me. But in the real world, the Lakers are pretty good. I'm a fan of D'Angelo Russell. I really, really like his game. I really like Jahlil Okafor's game. What am I talking about? Julius Randle's game. I really like Julius Randle's game and D'Angelo Russell's game. Brandon Ingram, the rookie, he's going to become good. He's not going to be that much of a factor this year, but I love the fact that Luke Walton, who is a great choice as coach, I love the fact that he's getting in the game and getting a chance to do something. Brandon Ingram. And who else is on that team? Lou Williams. I guess he helps have a veteran presence who can get some buckets. Luol Deng, another veteran presence guy. But I like the Lakers so far, and I like the way that Larry Nance Jr. boomed on David West when they beat the Warriors a couple nights ago. That was nasty. Houston Rockets. We pretty much know this team story. James Harden is fucking dominating right now. What do you have, like 15 assists last night? Another 30-something points, 5 rebounds. James Harden is balling, and he's a very efficient scorer. That's the thing. That's the difference between him and Russ. Russ is more like high energy and just does it with, Russell just has that mentality, and he's more athletic. More like, what's the word I want to use? He just uses his physicality to dominate you. That's what Russell Westbrook does. James Harden is athletic as well, but he's more, I would say methodical is the word to, that's not the best word, but more methodical, more surgical. He just picks you apart, and he's a hell of a passer, which I think we already knew. But now they run the offense through him, you're seeing what James Harden's capable of. He's fucking dominating. And they got some good shooters around them. Ryan Anderson, Eric Gordon. Good teams they got right now. 4-3 so far. I want to see them make the playoffs. I want to see James Harden in prime time. Trailblazers. Trailblazers pretty much what we expected. I mean, they got Lillard, they got CJ McCollum. The rest of this team is solid. They got a lot of solid, good players. It's similar to the Utah Jazz, but I think they got a higher ceiling, maybe, looking at Lillard and McCollum versus what the Jazz got. Maybe. That is a big maybe, because Gordon Hayward and Damian Lillard, I'm not sure who's the better player between those two guys. I know Lillard has more of the accolades. He gets more attention, probably because of his playing style, but I'm not so sure that Damian Lillard is that much better than Gordon Hayward. But y'all let me know. Denver Nuggets, 3-3 so far. I haven't watched any of the Denver Nuggets, but I did sign Jusuf Nurkic to my team. So shout out to Jusuf Nurkic for doing his thing so far. Get 10 rebounds. That's all I need you to do. And get 10 points to it. Double-doubles is important. Memphis Grizzlies. What's up with the Grizzlies? I mean, Mike Conley and Marc Gasol had a game off for rest last week. Why are you taking games off for rest? You only played 7 games. Why are they taking games off for rest? I don't understand this. Don't you sign a contract to play basketball? Why would you even, if I'm playing, I wouldn't even let the coach give me a game off for rest. They would have to suspend me because I cursed the coach out. You're not giving me a game off. I want to play every game. Now, I don't know if the players were okay with this, if it was forced on them. I don't know what this is. I don't know this new thing, players taking games off for rest. Marc Gasol and Mike Conley, neither one of them is that old. Why are you taking games? Like, you ain't 40. I have no idea what that's about. And they came back. They both came back and had good games after that. But you got these guys. Marc Gasol was a Defensive Player of the Year. He's an all-star. Mike Conley got the biggest contract in NBA history. Just off that alone, like, these guys got to produce. They got to produce better. Chandler Parsons on my fantasy team. He just came back. He had 0 points his first game, but I think he'll do better moving forward. Sacramento Kings. DeMarcus Cousins. Wait, can somebody tell me when DeMarcus Cousins becomes a free agent? Because hopefully he didn't do what Anthony Davis did. We're going to talk about Anthony Davis in a minute. Can somebody let me know in the comments, when does DeMarcus Cousins become an unrestricted free agent? I know he becomes restricted 1 year, and then the next year will be unrestricted. Can somebody fill me in on his contract situation? Because DeMarcus Cousins needs to be on what's the word I'm looking for? Like a capable, well-run basketball team. That'd be great to see. The Kings are not it. Rudy Gay's on my fantasy team. Rudy Gay's balling. So thank you, Rudy Gay, for balling. What else I got to say about the Kings? Nothing. They're 3-5. They are who we thought they were, right? The Kings are who we thought they were. DeMarcus Cousins is the best big man in the NBA. Back to the basket big man, let me put it that way. He's the best back to the basket big man in the NBA. I think facing the basket, I think we got to say Anthony Davis, but they got to win some fucking games. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Phoenix Suns. Devin Booker's on my fantasy team. He's been balling out the last couple games. He started the season very slow. The kid, TJ Warren, has been balling too. He's like a guy who like manufactures baskets, but that dude has a nose for putting the ball in the basket. And Eric Bledsoe is so fucking athletic. It's ridiculous. I didn't know he was that athletic. I hadn't watched many Phoenix games, but I watched a couple at the beginning of the year, again, when NBA League Pass was free. That dude is so athletic. It's crazy. And Tyson Chandler out there grabbing damn near 10 to 15 rebounds every night. He ain't scoring a lot. That's not what he does. But he's getting those rebounds, doing his thing. Who else is on Phoenix's team? Someone else I wanted to mention. I can't even think of who it is. Brandon Knight, I think, should be starting for some team in the league. Put Brandon Knight on a team like Sacramento. I think he would help that team a lot. So I think Knight is eventually going to get traded. He should be playing more minutes. He should be starting. What else we got? The Minnesota Timberwolves, 1-4 so far. So Tom Thibodeau hasn't been great for them thus far. I know Rubio has missed a couple of games. Andrew Wiggins is going to do his scoring thing, but one thing I was reading about Wiggins, and Wolves fans, y'all can fill me in again, because I don't watch every game of every team in detail. I don't watch a lot of NBA games during regular season, honestly, to keep it real with you. What else does Andrew Wiggins do well besides score points? I know he scores points, but does he do anything else well? Is he a great defender? Is he a great rebounder? Is he a great passer? Is he a floor spacer? Is he a leader? What else does Andrew Wiggins do well besides score points? Somebody let me know. And if nothing, let me know nothing. But I want to know, because that's a legitimate question. Karl Anthony Towns is still the guy. I don't know what his stats have been so far. I haven't even looked in detail on his stats. But I want to see Karl Anthony Towns, Wiggins. I want to see those guys in the playoffs. Hopefully they can turn it around. They only played 5 games. They're 1-4. Hopefully they can turn that around. Dallas Mavericks are 1-5. This team is... All right, first of all, Dirk Nowitzki is old. Dirk is no longer a factor. I don't know if any Mavericks fans didn't know that. Dirk and Paul Pierce, I think, came in the league the same year. Dirk is no longer a factor. He's better than Paul Pierce, but he's not really a factor. Dirk Nowitzki is not carrying this team to the playoffs. Okay, so if Dirk is the best player on this team, Dallas ain't making the playoffs. They're going to be a lottery team this year. Harrison Barnes is good. Harrison Barnes is not great. And if Harrison Barnes is carrying this team, the Mavericks are not making the playoffs. They're going to need Barnes. They're going to need Barnes to be good. They're going to need Dirk to be okay, make some shots at a high percentage. And all those other guys got to step up and do some things. Wes Matthews got to find his outside shot. And Wes is on my fantasy team, and I know he's had some bad shooting games. So Wes, find your shot. Darren Williams is another guy who actually played pretty well last year, pretty solidly. They're going to need him to continue to be solid. JJ Barea is pretty damn good, better than I thought he was. He's been producing. Andrew Bogut has been okay. I mean, he's been Andrew Bogut. Who else is on this team? I mean, what else you getting from anybody else on this roster? Mavericks in trouble. This team's in trouble. They just signed Harrison Barnes to a big deal. I know Dirk is on his way out after this year. They traded for Andrew Bogut. What are you getting out of this team? This team is very blah. It's a very blah basketball team. There's nothing exciting about the Dallas Mavericks. So Mark Cuban, yeah, do something with this team. They ain't doing much. New Orleans Pelicans. Anthony Davis. You know, it's funny because I used to watch Jacoby and Jalen. You know, when they did their NBA, they would talk about the NBA. And every time Anthony Davis got mentioned, Jalen Rose would be like, it ain't my fault. Talking about Anthony Davis, it ain't his fault. But things have changed. Because I said in the NBA preview video, I said I feel bad for Anthony Davis because he's on a trash team like the New Orleans Pelicans. But then someone enlightened me and I found out Anthony Davis signed a contract extension to keep playing for the Pelicans for another 5 years. So he'll be in New Orleans till 2021, barring a trade. He is contractually obligated to play for the New Orleans Pelicans till 2021. With that being said, I don't feel sorry for you no more, Anthony Davis. Win some fucking games. Now he's scoring. His stats are incredible. If you got him in fantasy, I don't, but if you do, you should be pretty damn happy. The guy's dominating stats-wise. They got to win some goddamn games. Now, I know Drew Holiday's out. His wife had brain surgery, so who knows how long he's going to be gone. Tim Frazier went to Penn State. He's been doing pretty good as a fill-in. Lance Stevenson got hurt. A guy they could really use a guy like Lance. Tariq Evans is out. And I know Tariq Evans is pretty much the second best player on this team when he's playing, but here's the challenge, Pelicans fans or Anthony Davis fans. If your hopes for winning rest on Tariq Evans coming back from injury, y'all in trouble. All right, y'all already in trouble. All right, this team's not going anywhere. Even if Tariq Evans and Drew Holiday come back, they're not going past the first round. They're going to get their ass kicked in the first round like they did a couple years ago. But Anthony Davis, listen, man. Anthony Davis, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, who else? Let's just stick to those three. Jimmy Butler. Those four guys could benefit a lot from just a little bit of Russell Westbrook's mentality. The mentality is not Russell Westbrook's game, not his athleticism, not his shot selection or none of that. Just the mentality of, this is my team, I'm the best player, and we're either going to win or lose based on what I do. Not what the team does, but based on what I do. That's the mentality Michael Jordan had before the Bulls started winning championships. That's the mentality Kobe Bryant had in that period after Shaq, but before Pau Gasol and Bynum and Odom and all those guys came into form. That's the mentality even someone like Iverson had before the Sixers put a team around him, a supporting cast around him to get to the finals. That kind of mentality wins. That's the kind of mentality, we could even go further than that. Dwayne Wade, after Shaq left Miami and before LeBron and them came to Miami, that period with the Heat, that's the mentality Dwayne Wade had. Now, you know what the Heat did? Dwayne Wade took that team to the playoffs. They lost in the first round pretty easily, but they were going to win games just because Dwayne Wade was there. They were going to at least be a 500 team just because Dwayne Wade was there. The Orlando Magic, Dwight Howard, before he left Orlando, the team around him was not that great. They weren't that great, but that team was competitive because Dwight Howard was on that team. LeBron James, before he left Cleveland the first time, 2010, that team was competitive because LeBron James was on the team. Anthony Davis, listen, man, you signed a contract extension for how much? $145 million, 5 years. You putting up all these stats. The stats are incredible, dude. Y'all got to win some damn games. At some point, Anthony Davis got to say, listen, give me the fucking ball. Give me the ball, Tim Frazier. Give me the ball, Tariq. When Tariq Evans comes back, he really needs to say it to Tariq Evans. Drew Holiday, give me the ball. We either going to win or lose based on what I do. And right now, based on what he does, they're losing. And the stats are crazy, they're still losing. The object of the game is to win some damn games. And Anthony Davis missed out on, I saw an interview they had did with him, he missed out on $24 million because he didn't make first team All-NBA last year. Well, this is the reason why he didn't make it, because the team can't win no damn games. Like, dude, you want to be first team All-NBA, you're going to get all the money. At some point, you got to pull out some victories for your team on top of getting the stats. And Anthony Davis just ain't making it happen. Russell Westbrook's making it happen. Now, does Russell Westbrook have a better team around him than Anthony Davis? I would have to say that he does, but not by that much, I don't think. But let's put the two guards back in there. Let's put Jrue Holiday and Tyreke Evans back on the team and compare the Pelicans to the Thunder. I think the Pelicans probably win a couple more games if they get those two guys on the team. But, I mean, listen, Jrue Holiday ain't no world beater, and Tyreke Evans damn sure ain't no world beater. It shouldn't be that much of a difference putting Anthony Davis on his team. Like, they got to win some fucking games, man. That's all I got to say about the NBA so far. Did I miss anything? Is there somebody I should have talked about that I didn't talk about? I don't think so. Did I have any? Hopefully I got all the factual information right. But if I didn't, listen, forgive me. I ain't sitting here looking at stats. All I'm looking at is the standings from NBA.com. So all you who are big fans of one team and it's some stat or some small detail that I got wrong, shut the fuck up about it. I ain't going back and forth with you in the comments. Anything else y'all want to hear about? Anything else you got to say? Anything you want to add that I didn't talk about? Any player who's playing great who I didn't mention? I want to hear about it. Let me know in the comments. And I'll do this every once in a while when I see when a few games have gone by. I ain't gonna do this every 7 games. That'd be too many videos. But whenever I feel the need, if y'all want to see more of these, let me know. If you don't, it's all good. You can let me know that too. It'll save me some time. Everybody, work on your game. DreAllDay.com. Testing. 1, 2. Sound check. Testing.
Hey, witness on the beat.